Mute everyone. Oh my gosh, Jasmine, I'm cracking up. Listen, we've all had it happen. It's totally fine. Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Megan Milakovic and welcome to our straight call tonight. I am excited to be sharing with you guys. I wanted to just share with you what Phil and I have been doing for the last several months that has really gotten our team into massive momentum and massive growth. Hey, buddy, you're welcome. I'm gonna need you to go to bed. Thanks. Um, and it all started back in May. Our points on his leg had gotten down to 68 points. Okay, just to kind of put this in perspective, as of today, we are sitting at almost 500 points and we're on track to hit Senior Ruby on his leg. There's already been over 50 new VIPs on his team, and 9 of them have upgraded to brand ambassador, which means that they are earning their first paychecks. Okay. So things are in high momentum, but they did not start that way. And what I want you guys to hear in this business, if you are not building, your business is dying. Okay. If you are not growing, it's going backwards, right? But at any moment, you have the ability to change that if you want to. Okay. So for us, sorry, can you mute? Okay. No, guys, I'm on my call. Okay. It's been a while since we've done evening calls, and my kids are like, I don't know what's happening anymore. And everyone one by one keeps coming out of their room. Okay. So it starts with you making a decision. So if you are sitting there and you are looking at your business and you are not where you want to be, maybe your points have gone backwards. Maybe it's been a slow growth. Maybe you took a little break and you're coming back, whatever it is, or maybe you just signed up and you just started. Like maybe this is brand new to you the last month, the last few months. We have lots of people who are new, who are joining us, who are just starting to build. Okay. And the very first step in creating that momentum, in building that excitement and having that explosive growth is you have to make a decision, right? You can't just say, well, I'm going to get there when I get there. Well, hate to burst your little bubble, but I'm going to pop it right now. You're never going to get there if that's your attitude. If you're like, it's just going to happen when it happens, it's never going to happen. Okay. You have to be specific and you have to make a decision. There is a huge difference between committing and trying. Okay. Someone who is committed is going to show up on the days that they don't feel like showing up. Someone who's just trying is going to throw in the towel when things get hard, right? But if you're on this call, it's because you want this, right? You want to build a legacy business, but that starts with a decision. And that decision is that you are going to commit to growing this business instead of just trying, okay? And for us, I had a lot of head trash that I had to deal with in order to get to the point that I was willing to make a decision. Okay. And you might be thinking, well, you're a diamond. You already made it to the top. How could you possibly have things that you have to work through? Okay. We all have mindset things that we need to work through. Once you become a diamond, all of your head trash doesn't magically disappear. Okay. It doesn't just go away and your life become perfect, right? Now, there are a lot of really amazing things in my life because we're diamond, right? Like Alita was sharing about us this morning that we have someone who comes to our house and she meal preps, she picks up our groceries, and she makes us dinner and lunches for the next day. It's amazing, super healthy. We've been eating way better. Like that's something I always dreamed of. And now we actually have someone who's doing that, right? I have someone who comes and does the laundry. There's all these different things that we're offloading. Our life is a diamond. I love it, right? Like we were just able to For our son's 10th birthday, we're taking them on a trip, and we just booked his trip to Legoland in California, and we're able to buy the hotel rooms for Legoland and the tickets and not even bat an eye. Okay, paid cash, not on a credit card, and didn't have to worry about how we were going to pay for it. You guys, that is the life that we wanted to build, and I'm so grateful that we're here and this is where we are. But I still had head trash and different things to work through even after I hit diamond, okay? And so I had to work through some of my own thoughts were, can I build this again? And did I just get lucky? And I know that sounds probably ridiculous coming out of my mouth, but how many of you have ever thought like, oh, so and so just got lucky. That's how they got to the top, or they got in early, or, whatever it is, whatever lie that you are telling yourself about why other people are successful and you're not, you have to be honest about that. Okay. It took me 3 years to work through my own stuff and my own head trash to be ready to say, we're going to build again. But everything can change in an instant, right? Once you make that decision. So making the decision is the first, foremost, most important thing that you are going to do. But there's a lot of things that you might have to work through in order to get to that space. When you get to that space and you make the decision, everything has the power to change, right? That doesn't have to be a long process if you don't want it to be, right? If you want it to be quick, if you want it to be in an instant, it can be because you get to make that decision. And that's what we did going to Diamond. And that's what we're doing again as we're going Diamond on Phil's leg, okay? The next thing that you need to do is you need to set a temporary timeline so that you know the speed at which you need to run, okay? We all know that you can change the timeline, right? You can change the timeline, but you never want to change the goal. But you have to have some sort of timeline for yourself, right? You have to be honest with yourself. Do your goals and your timelines match the effort you're willing to give, right? Are you sitting here and you're saying, I want to go diamond in a year. I'm going to do it, or I'm going to go emerald in a year. And you are so pumped up and you're so excited about it, but your work ethic behind that doesn't line up, right? The things that you're willing to do are not all there. You still have too many things on your I'm unwilling to do list, right? So you have to set a timeline. And I don't like the word realistic because I think that's a bunch of garbage, right? Because it can be realistic if you decide that it's going to be realistic, right? There were people who said going emerald in a year was unrealistic, but we did it. There were people who said that double ranking sapphire and diamond was unrealistic, but we did it. So you get to define what that looks like in your life. Don't let anybody else define that, but you do need to be honest with yourself, and you have to ask yourself, do your goals and your timeline match the effort in which you are willing to give? Okay. The next thing, this is crucial and this is huge, you guys. Passion and energy. Okay. You can do all of the right things in the wrong energy, and you are not going to get the results that you're looking for. If you are sitting here racking your brain because you're like, I'm sending all the messages, I'm doing all the posts, I'm listening to all the personal growth, I'm doing all the right things, but your passion and your energy isn't there, you are not going to get the same results as somebody who has that passion and energy. And you can do the wrong things and you can say the wrong things, but if you do it in the right energy, you are going to get the results that you are looking for, because it's less about the how to and it's more about the why to, right? In one of Les Brown's videos, he talks about that if you know the why, you can endure almost any how, right? Because it's about why are you doing this, right? It's not, this is specifically how you need to do it. It's about that passion. It's about that why. And I want to clarify something because some of you are not like naturally bubbly people. And that's not what I'm referring to when I say passion and high energy. Okay. When we say your energy needs to be high, I don't mean bubbly. I mean that you need to have conviction and you need to have passion, right? If you are not a naturally bubbly person and you start trying to be bubbly, it's going to be very confusing. It's going to be very inauthentic. That would be like if Amber Rosny got on here and she started talking like Alina and I do. That would be weird, okay? Because that's not in her natural personality. But she does have conviction and she has passion about where she's going, about what she's doing, about these products, about this business opportunity. It just comes across in a different way because her personality and mine are so different, but she still operates out of that passion and that conviction. And so I looked at the definition of these words to kind of give you guys a little better of an idea. Okay, a conviction is a firmly held belief or opinion. So when you think about this business opportunity, when you think about these products, do you hold that belief firmly? Right? When you think about that, is it so rock solid in your mind that it comes across to other people, or are you kind of wishy-washy? Like, this could be a great opportunity, but I don't really know. I'm hoping that this works out. I'm giving this a try. That's not operating out of conviction. Conviction is, I have such a strong belief that I'm going to the top and I want to take as many people with me and I'm going to operate in that way, in that energy. Okay. And then for passion, it is a strong and barely controllable emotion, right? Sometimes when I'm talking or when Phil's talking, our passion is so strong, it feels a little out of control, right? Because we are so excited about where we're going. We're so excited about what we're building that sometimes those emotions can go all over the place. It also says passion is an outburst of strong emotion, right? So sometimes it just overflows, it overwhelms us in a really great way. Like today on our elite coaching call, I burst into tears as I was thinking about the vision that I had for our life and that we are living that we're living that right now. Like that is our reality. It's not just a cute little thing that we say that we crossed off 3 of our dream boards and we're working on our 4th. Like when I really truly think about it, I couldn't help but have tears in my eyes as I shared that with our elite group today, because that's possible. 7 years ago, when our kids were on Medicaid and Phil had unexpectedly lost his job, that could have been the end for us. We could have just said, well, we were dealt a series of unfortunate events and everything kind of spiraled downward from there. And that's it. Like there's no way out of this, because I will tell you, the system doesn't want you to get out of that. That's something I never realized until we were in that situation. We had to have such strong conviction and such strong belief that we were going to get past that space, because there was a period where we were actually going to lose money by making more money. And that sounds insane, but we were willing to bet on ourselves that we could get out of that situation. And because we believed so strongly, we were willing to take those risks and make those leaps, even though logically it didn't make sense. Okay. Because we had that passion. Passion is also an intense desire or enthusiasm for something. So I want you guys to drop in the comments. I want you to rate yourself from 1 to 10. Okay. 1 being super low, 10 being like my passion is through the roof and there's nothing that could slow me down at all. Like, rate in the comments, where is your passion level at? Okay, I can't get that for you right now. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing some numbers come in. Okay. That passion and where you're at, that conviction level, that enthusiasm, that's going to determine how you show up every single day in your business, right? Because when you are feeling so strongly about where you are going, the people that you are going to be helping, the opportunity that you have, do you guys realize the opportunity that you have at your fingertips? It is truly life-changing if you allow it to be, right? If you don't let the negative thinking stop you, if you don't let what other people say about you stop you, it has the opportunity to radically change your life. Do you believe that when you share it with people? Can people tell that when you're speaking, can they realize like, "Oh, she's going places," right? Like, I believe her. I want to follow her because I know where she's going. Do people even know where you're going? Have you told them where you're going? And when you tell them, do you say it with such conviction and power that nobody would second guess you, right? That's what we're talking about. The next part of this is you have to vision cast, right? And you've heard this time and time again, but part of that vision casting is you have to set that stage for where you're going and act as if it's already happening, right? I was talking just as passionately about what we were going to do in building Phil's business from the day that we made the decision that we were going to start rebuilding it until now, right? We're in high momentum now. We weren't in high momentum in May, but that's when we made the decision. When we came back from convention in June, we made a decision and we said, we're building this thing. We're starting our elite coaching group. We're going after business builders and we're going to build your leg all the way to the top. We're going to go to diamond again. We're going to do this, right? And so I talked as passionately as I am right now, as excited as I am that we're going to hit senior ruby and then emerald here soon. I was just as excited in the very beginning before it even happened. You have to be expectant that those things are going to happen. Um, Another thing you need to do as you're building, you guys, is capitalize on the excitement and fuel the fire. And one of the ways that we do this is through video chats in Messenger. And one of our girls, Tasha, I forget what she calls them. I think she calls them like sneak attack calls or something like that. Like it cracks her up every single time because she'll drop something in the chat. And this girl, let me just give a shout out to her. She has been doing this for 3 weeks and she already ranked Fast Start Gold. Okay. This month alone, senior silver and gold. It's been wild. But she'll drop something in the chat that she's really excited about or something that happened. And then before she knows it, we're all on a call with her. Me and Ashley and Megan and Phil, we're on there and we're talking to her and we're excited and we're cheering her on. When people hit those rank ups or they hit whatever that goal is, or they're really excited about something, we just click that little video button. We don't give them warning. We don't say, hey, are you available for a call at XYZ time? They're just going to get bombarded with a call whenever. You just never know when it's going to happen, right? We called someone the other day, Hannah, because she hit Fast Start Silver. She was in the middle of pumping. It's fine, you guys. We're all like, we're here. We're humans. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I remember I called some people in the morning and they were like, oh my gosh, I have bedhead. I'm like, me too. It's fine. It doesn't matter, right? We're capitalizing on that excitement. We're doing these celebratory calls. Sometimes the call might only be 2 minutes because, Hezekiah might freak out in the background in the middle of a call. And then I got to go do something about that, right? Like it doesn't have to be this long drawn out thing. It doesn't have to be this pre-planned call that like we got to get everybody on at the same time. Just call them, just surprise them, sneak attack them, whatever you want to call it. People are going to love it because they feel seen, they feel valued, they feel heard. They're like, oh my goodness, they're so excited for me that they want to call me and talk to me about these things. So that's a really great way for you guys to capitalize on the momentum of what is happening when people are most excited. Just call them. Just hit the video button in Messenger. It's so simple. Even if you're only on there for 2 minutes, it's going to make a big difference if you do that. Um, here's the other thing that we've been doing, okay? We've been doing the same thing that we've been telling everybody to do for the last 7 years. Okay? There is nothing new under the sun. All of the practical tips and tools and things like those surprise calls that I'm talking to you about, it all stems from passion, right? It all stems from that conviction, that excitement that we're here for it, that we know where we're going, that we care about people, that we're cheering them on. There is nothing new under the sun when it comes to building this business. One of us is not going to jump on this straight talk call and tell you something that you've probably never heard before. Because I bet you that you have, and you've probably heard it multiple times. But if you are getting on these calls and you keep hearing the same thing over and over again and you don't do anything different, it's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you are just a consumer of knowledge, if you are on all the calls and you're so committed to growth and you're hearing everything that needs to happen, but you are not taking action, you're missing the most important piece of all of this, is that you have to take action. You have to hear the things and then you have to put it into action. I would rather have you listen to less things and take more action with passion than for you to just listen all day long, because there is no secret to success. This is a phrase that I told myself on the Think Up app over and over again as I was going for Emerald. And it said, there is no secret to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. And I'm committed to all three, right? There is no secret behind all of it, right? All of the trainings, all of the videos, they're amazing and they're wonderful. And they're going to give you great insight and they're going to give you good ideas. But if you do not take the action, you're missing it, right? That's where the magic happens. The magic happens when you're putting it into practice, when you're taking action. There's this quote that let me see. Oh, I thought I pulled it up and now it's missing. Okay, there's a quote by Lewis Howes. Okay, here it is. And it's a quote about discipline. And he says, nobody wants to tell you why discipline is so important. Discipline is the strongest form of self-love. It's ignoring pleasure for bigger reward to come. It's loving yourself enough to give yourself everything you've ever wanted. So many times we do not do the things that we know we need to do. We don't have the self-discipline. And I want to encourage you guys to love yourself enough and to love your family enough to know that you can have everything that you've wanted. Literally, you can have it all. If you can think it up, you can make it your reality. It's a law of attraction, right? You are receiving in those things. But you have to believe that you are worthy of that, right? You have to believe that your family is worthy of that because they are, and you are, right? You just have to believe that you can do it. And it sounds so simple. You guys, if you can just grab hold of that passion, if you can just grab hold of that belief, there will be nothing that can stop you along the way, right? It is like a train that is moving at high speed and you can plow through a giant brick wall that was there because there is nothing that can stop you. But some of you are on this train and you're going as slow as molasses. And if one little brick gets put on that track, you come to a screeching halt. Somebody says one thing, you have one negative thought, somebody comments one negative thing on your post and you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't do it. I guess we're never going to make it to the top. No, you guys, your conviction needs to be so strong that you're going to make it there, that you can plow through anything. You have to anticipate that your dreams are going to become a reality, right? You have to be expectant of those things. You have to believe that it is going to happen. And so, Les Brown, that's something that he talks about. Like, he talks about believing and saying, good things are supposed to happen to me, right? Do you tell yourself that all the time? Good things are supposed to happen to me? Or when one thing goes wrong, you're like, Oh my gosh, bad things always happen to me. It's one thing after another, just waiting for the shoe to drop. Things have been too good, blah, 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 blah. Or are you waking up every single day expectant for good things to happen? Are you waking up every day expecting that your team is going to grow, that a dream teamer is going to sign on with you, that your business is exploding, right? Are you expectant that this growth is going to happen? Or are you doubtful, right? Set your intentions for what you're going for what you want, for what you're running after, and be grateful for it ahead of time. And this is where I wanted you guys to have that piece of paper out. So I have been listening to this video. Shout out to Rachel Wilkes for sharing it. And I'm sure she shared it with all of you guys, but it's Earl Shoaff, and he talks about how to become a millionaire. But there was this one piece that stood out to me, and I've been listening to this over and over again, okay? And I even bought the little book that has the transcript, and I've been reading it, I've been listening to it, but the part that stood out to me the most was how specific, right? We know about this. We know you have to be very specific about where you're going and what your goals are, right? Like not just saying I want XYZ at Emerald, or I just want to be happier, or whatever things that you're saying. You have to be very, very specific about what you want and where you're going. But the key thing is you need to be grateful before it gets there. You need to have this expectant hopefulness that it's not there yet, but that you know it's going to be, and you're so grateful for it before it's even become your reality. So if you guys have a piece of paper, I want you to take out that piece of paper, and in big letters on the top of this blank piece of paper, I want you to write thank you. So if you have that paper, get it out, write on the top of it, thank you. And then when we get off of this call, I want you to write out very specifically how you envision your life at Emerald or at Diamond or whatever your next big goal is. I want you to get really specific about what things, how do you want to feel then, right? What things do you want to change in your life? Do you want to take your family on a vacation, right? Do you want to bring them to Hawaii with you? Do you want to hire someone to offload your laundry? Do you want to is there some place that you want to be able to give to, a ministry? Is there whatever those things that you are expectant for, right? That you are hopeful for, but you've already said thank you, right? You wrote in big letters on the top of that page before you filled it with anything. You wrote thank you, because you are operating out of gratitude for the things that are not even there yet in your life. It changes the energy. It shifts the way you show up, because not only are you truly believing with conviction that you're going there, but you are already saying thank you before those things have ever arrived into your life. Just think about the way that's going to shift, the way it's going to help you to show up in a different kind of energy with a different passion, because typically we don't say thank you for something unless we've received it, right? But that's a way to say, I am so confident that this is where I'm heading and this is where I'm going and this is how my life is going to be, that I'm going to sit in gratitude because I know that it's coming. And it's not just oh yeah, I know maybe one day. No, it's I know that I know that I know that it is coming, and you believe it so strongly. So I'm excited for you guys to write down exactly what those things are that you are expecting for to happen, that you are hopeful for that is going to happen in the future, and you're saying thank you before it even gets there. So I am excited for you guys. I hope that there were some little nuggets that you could take away, but most importantly, I want you to know there is no secret to success, okay? It is showing up. It is doing the work day in, day out, but you have to be passionate about it, okay? You have to have that energy and that conviction. So when you show up and you send the messages and you talk to people, do it with conviction, because it will change the outcome. I promise you. Okay. Love you guys.